Hi there, my name is Amanda Wagenhofer, and I am excited to share my Petcha Kutcha with you today. One specific educational practice that I would like to challenge is the barrier of transportation inequality that negatively impacts many elementary school students and their families. There are a variety of methods of transportation available for elementary school students and their families to choose from, with the intention that all students come to school and go home safely. In my particular district, elementary school students and their families may choose to ride the bus, walk, ride a bike, or receive transportation in a personal vehicle. A limitation of these options in my district is that students within a 1 mile radius of our school building do not qualify for busing transportation. Families within this 1 mile radius must seek alternative transportation. Sometimes this results in missing school or unsafe conditions of children being left alone to walk. I chose this topic because as a teacher, I encounter so many scenarios of students either missing school, being tardy, or not getting picked up after school due to transportation barriers. The repercussions of students not being at school inhibit both learning and social interactions. I personally struggle with my lack of ability to assist these families in finding a solution to their transportation needs. Teachers are often burdened with a multitude of roles that extend beyond the job description of curriculum instruction. We are often the first line of defense for the tough conversations that must be had on the importance of getting your child to school. An ethical dilemma is encountered as a kindergarten teacher who holds responsibility for the safety of my students. I cannot ethically be expected to allow my 5-year-old students to be left alone either before or after school. School attendance is also directly related to my responsibilities of providing students with access to instruction. Parents may face ethical dilemmas between balancing responsibilities of transportation with job security and financial stability for their families. Parents may not have the ability or means to provide transportation due to a variety of reasons. Some may struggle with financial obstacles, car problems, or others may be negatively impacted by work demands. A third dilemma stems from the equity of our students who may live further away from school. By adding more students to the current routes, students who live further away may be spending an inequitable amount of time riding longer and longer bus routes. My perception of the transportation system at the elementary level is that it is the same design that it has been for many years. Why is this? There seems to be an assumption that parents are responsible and capable for making sure their children are at school. It is reasonable to assume that an increase in bus routes may have the potential to solve this problem. However, some may argue or point out that there is already a bus driver shortage. Other opinions may point fingers at parents for the responsibility they hold in ensuring that their children attend school. Why would anyone else be responsible for their children? A further argument may claim that even if offered the access to bus routes, families may find barriers in having to be at work during the pickup hours or drop off times. Perhaps this is more of a systematic issue of the school day in relation to society's expectations. Throughout this course, I have gained a new perspective on equity. My inner dialogue has shifted from focusing on the achievement gap towards opportunities for improvement in equitable design. Students who are negatively impacted by transportation barriers may be victims of opportunity gaps. I have learned that there is danger in the single story, and we must not into the belief that any parents do not value education. I think it is important to presume positive intent when families may be facing barriers that inhibit their ability to provide transportation for their children to attend school. I am challenged by my reading of Clint Smith's How the Word is Passed to continue to investigate historical significances of root causes to systematic barriers. After reading his eye opening narrative on how modern day consumerism and banking are foundationally tied to chattel slavery, I wonder in what other ways am I ignorantly unaware of ties to slavery. It is important to note transportation inequity is not limited to elementary school busing availability. Historian Manning Marable describes his research and findings of the inequalities of transportation policy and infrastructure against Black communities around the nation in Marable's theory of underdevelopment. Additionally, Ariel Rodriguez and Christina Voigt examine a wide variety of factors that either support or limit students from walking to and from school. They determined that environment plays an important role in the perception of safety in walking to school. This brings up an equity issue of providing busing for all schools. What specific actions can I take as a singular kindergarten teacher? For starters, I'd like to know more about the decision for the implementation of the 1 mile radius rule. Perhaps there's an underlying funding issue or bus driver shortage. Regardless, it may be a difficult conversation worth having. While my direct chain of command is my building principal, the families that are directly impacted by the system hold some unknown power in seeking change. I can commit to being prepared to walk alongside these families in seeking answers and solutions when the conversations arise next fall. I would like to advocate for one immediate change in our school district's policy. Busing transportation should be made available for all students, regardless of proximity to the school building. A long-term solution may be found in holding a discussion over society's expectation for before and after school hour childcare. How can both society and our schools better serve our working families without putting more demands on teachers or requiring parents to choose between transportation and earning a living wage? Thank you for engaging in this presentation with me. Here are some of the amazing resources that helped me develop my ethical consideration for you today. Have an amazing day.